Hi everyone, very good morning. So this weekend we have Maitri, Scrum Master, to join with us. Hi Maitri.
Hi, pleasure to be here.
Maitri, so you are a Scrum Master now. So there are lot many aspirants who want to become a Scrum Master, right? So what do you like to tell them?
There are a lot of people who reached out to me on LinkedIn or when I have a one-on-one conversation with people saying that they want to be a Scrum Master. And a lot of people think that once you do a certification, you immediately become a Scrum Master. So it's like any other skill that you pick up. If you want to be like, let's say, a cloud architect, or you want to be a product manager, whatever skill it is, or whatever role that you play, a certification is just probably like a icing to the cake. Okay, and it's
Okay,
not something that can make you overnight a scrum master. So
okay,
for people out there who reach out or saying that you become a scrum master immediately, it is not the case. So my suggestion to people like that would be probably to understand how Scrum framework works, read through the Scrum guide, and probably just shadow the Scrum Master in your organization for some time. Then understand what is it that they are doing. Internally in your organization, you can ask for a role change. Let's say you're from a testing background or you're from a developer background and you're interested in being a Scrum Master. You can play the dual role for some time. You can play the role of being a Scrum Master and a developer for some time, and then slowly move into the shoes of being a Scrum Master. But that takes time, and you need to upskill yourself in terms of probably reading a lot of blogs, going to a lot of meetups, probably having a mentor who is already a Scrum Master and who understands what it is all about. Then do a certification
okay.
that probably help them in the Scrum Master journey. So if somebody is trying to sell saying that you write or you get a certification and you become a Scrum Master, please don't get fooled by that.
Okay. So doing a Scrum Master certification doesn't make you a Scrum Master at all, right?
Absolutely not.
Got that. Okay. How you went as a Scrum Master? How was your journey? How you moved into Scrum Master?
So my journey was also similar to like that. So I was a developer initially. I started out my career. Then I slowly moved into a Scrum Master by doing all of these things. So I
Okay.
had a mentor as well, and I read a lot of blogs. I was really interested. I was very passionate about doing this. I proved it to the organizations that I worked for. Then I got a change. Then I slowly became a full-time Scrum Master, and that's what I do in organizations that I work at Pando now, and we do that at Pando Corp as well, where we don't follow framework per se. What we do is basically bring in process into the at the program level. So it is
Okay.
just only for specifically teams which are into product delivery. We also have expanded the horizon a bit, and we are just bringing in process into the entire organization per se.
Okay. So, lot many people these days, Maitri, who are into non-technical, right? They want to get into Scrum Master. So, and they don't have any technical knowledge, right? So, do you think a person should have worked technically to development or testing to become a Scrum Master?
Not necessarily. See, I am from a technical background in the sense I was a developer. I have a fair understanding of how things work. But in my day to day activities, if you see, I'm not involved anywhere in development lifecycle at all. That is
Okay.
something that the teams where I work, they do it completely. So it is not that you have to. It is good to have. It is definitely a good to have skill, but it is not mandatory. Like I said, it's about the passion and the drive, no matter what the framework is. So even if some company has agile ways of working, and somebody from a complete non development background per se want to get involved as a scrum master, I'm sure they can with the drive and passion.
Okay. All right. So where do they get stuck usually if a person is from a non-technical background and getting into a Scrum Master? So where do they stuck? Have you seen such people getting into a Scrum Master role and getting stuck in something?
No, personally, I have not seen people like that. So I have probably have seen people where There have been experiments to make HR teams get into Scrum framework, marketing teams get into agile ways of working. Things like this have happened. So basically, people who have already been an expert in that industry or like that line of work, be it marketing or sales or HR, that kind of people, they don't generally get stuck. If you ask me, like, if what if like probably a marketing manager becomes a scrum master tomorrow into the product development life cycle or product delivery life cycle, probably the common struggle that they would have is to kind of understand how things work and how things move forward in the software development cycle. But I think once they get the hang of how it works, it'll be easier for them to adapt. So it is not more of a question of technical versus non-technical skill. It is more to do with if I get into being a scrum master for a sales team tomorrow, or I try to move a sales team into agile ways of working tomorrow, I will initially have my struggles because I have to understand how the entire sales life cycle works.
Right.
So that is a common struggle they will have. I don't think technical versus non-technical, they will have a struggle, provided they have a good understanding of what they do.
Got that. So, and how about aspirants? So, as I said, some people who would be doing testing and they want to get into Scrum Master, and now in this pandemic, work from home, so they may not be able to get the dual role. So, what's your suggestion for them?
So, see, in organizations now, if you take typically at least the large enterprise organizations like probably let's say a Cognizant or HCL, Infosys, there are a lot of openings where internally people generally tend to change their roles. They don't really want to externally hire a Scrum Master or an Agile coach. There are internal transformations that happen where they kind of, let's say a Scrum Master is there, they mentor the person, then they slowly move into the role. Or sometimes even project managers who have been working in the traditional ways of working, they move into becoming Scrum Masters. So if you do have opportunities like that in your organization where you can ask for something like that, you can probably shadow your Scrum Master for some time in big projects like there where there are like 20 teams, 30 teams, etc. You can probably pick to be shadowing the scrum master in your own team, then move slowly. If that is not the case, there are always opportunities where you can learn things. You can move to startups and also probably shadow people there.
Okay.
But those kind of opportunities are harder to find because they in startup specifically, you need to be like knowing that, and you need to be a go-getter like from day one.
Okay. Got
So,
that.
so the best way is probably to play in a dual role, slowly get into the dual role in the current organization that you are there, and get into a full-time Scrum Mastery role in that organization, be there for some time, either move and take up a few more teams in that organization or take up much more challenging jobs in other organizations like a startup or a mid-sized organizations where the role will be a lot more challenging and you can experiment more.
Got that. Okay. Understood. So there are people planning to do Scrum certification. So what's your shoe tip for them?
So it depends again. Like I said, do you really need it at this point of time? I mean, see, I wrote my PSM1 or I wrote my certification only after I got a fair understanding of what Scrum was. Okay, like I at least read blogs, I read through the Scrum guide. I was there out on the field for some time. Even though I was very much at the beginning of my career, I at least got to play my hands dirty before I took up the certification. I also had a amazing mentor called Venkatesh Rajamani. He's a PST from Scrum.org. He also helped me in terms of getting my feet up and guiding me and stuff like that. So that's how I started doing my certifications. It was more of I am a Scrum Master now, so how do I enrich my skills much further? Then I want to be a Scrum Master. For that, I need to be a developer. I was a developer on day 90 and I want to be a Scrum Master on day 91. Let me write my PSM1. It was not that way.
Okay, got that. It's quite a lot of information, Maitri. So I think yeah, people who are aspirant to become a Scrum Master after seeing this video, they will go ahead and they will ask for a dual role in many organizations for sure. And even you may get a request saying that, ma'am, you only said that to do a dual role, so you should give an opportunity for us. You may get a lot of requests.
Let founders know about it as well. I will
Yeah.
tell them to keep an eye out for such request as well.
Yeah, so you may get such requests down the line very soon. So thanks so
I'll
much
ask them.
for your
Thank
time
you so
over this
much.
weekend for us. Hope we will connect again very soon for another quick session on
It
few
was a
technologies.
pleasure being here, Srini. And see, every conversation I have with people makes me think in different perspectives. So
Right.
this was one such conversation, and I'm very glad to be here and to have spent this time with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks so much, Maitri.
Pleasure.